What's going on YouTube world? Austin Zaback here, and in this video we're going to talk about the future of real estate agents. I think there's a lot of people that are potentially looking to get into real estate. Maybe you are looking to get into wholesaling, right? Maybe you're looking to go out and become a licensed real estate agent. There's literally 100 things that you can do in the world of real estate. But in this video, we're going to talk about the future of real estate agents. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. A lot of this is going to be my opinion. Some of it is going to be fact. But at the end of the day, it is going to be a lot of fun to talk about. So as far as the real estate agent goes, okay, and real quick, by the way, guys, go ahead and like this video. Smash that subscribe button if you have not already. This is kind of a new style video that I'm trying out. I hope that you guys enjoy this style of video. I want to make sure that everything's on the screen, that you can see everything, and that it is all just extremely visible and interactive, right? So definitely stay to the end of the video, and I'd love to talk to you guys a little bit more about some different things. Okay, as far as the real estate agent goes, U.S. News says they expect a course correction industry-wide. As you can see here, there's a couple of articles that I pulled here. You guys can read as I kind of scroll through this. Okay, there are currently 1.3 million members in the National Association of Realtors. Okay, that is a lot of people in the United States of America that hold an active real estate license. In the grand scheme of things, right, there's only 50 states, okay, expecting a large decrease, right, of agents over the next 5 to 10 years. Now, that's what a lot of people are saying. In a minute, I'm going to give you my thoughts on what I personally think is going to happen to the real estate agent over the next 5 to 10 years. It might amaze you at my opinion, right? And this is very controversial, right? Like, understand that there's a lot of people that think a lot of different things, and nobody knows for sure exactly what is going to happen. Again, why do they think this? Okay, there's a lot more platforms, right, to allow buyers to find homes. Okay, look at the Zillow, the Redfin, the Trulia, right? Look at all of these different literally softwares and companies and platforms that allow the buyer, right, via technology to look at their computer screen, find a home that they love, and boom, in a moment, make a decision, go out and buy that property. Very controversial, right? Again, look at the open doors, the offer pads, right? Look at all of these companies. You have the Trulias, the Redfins, and the Zillows, right? And on and on and on and on. And then you have the open doors and the offer pads that are offering cash to the seller. Okay, and some of these people are working with buyers as well. Okay, so again, technology, right? There's these big, massive tech companies, and a lot of them are backed by a lot of freaking money, right? Billions of dollars with a B. An increase in specialized companies to outsource open houses, marketing, closing, etc. Right? There's all of these different companies that you can literally pay not that much money, right? Pennies on the dollar in the grand scheme of things, and they will help do different things. These are a lot of different things that 5 years ago, 10 years ago, the real estate agent actually did, okay? The real estate agent did all of this stuff, right? And now you're seeing a lot of different websites. Remember, again, and then we're gonna go on to the next slide. There was a day and a time when the real estate agent provided the value of the property. Like, just keep it really simple for a minute, right? Now, you can go on Zillow. In a split second, you will get a value for your property via the Zestimate. Now, is it accurate? Is it not accurate? I'm not going to answer that question, right? But what I will say is that without a shadow of a doubt, the information is everywhere, right? We live in a world where we have information at our fingertips, okay? And the consumer, right? The client or the consumer can go out on the computer, right? Leveraging technology, and they can get information in a split second. Okay, so let's go ahead and keep going here. Now, as far as the real estate agent goes, reading these articles, right? Warburg states, full service real estate brokerages will cater to high-end clients moving forward into the future, okay? Take it for what it's worth, right? The guy has done billions and billions and billions of dollars in real estate sales, okay? A lot of these guys know what they're talking about. He also predicts mid and entry clients will opt to decrease their costs by taking like a DIY type approach through researching and only hiring professionals when absolutely necessary. Leveraging technology, people are predicting that basically the consumer is going to be able to get that technology to help them with the majority of the transaction, leveraging a professional for a small portion of that said transaction for most likely a lot cheaper of a cost. Okay, again, all things that we want to start to think about moving forward as real estate agents or as people that have thought about getting their real estate license. Okay, now again, my name is Austin Zaback with the Zaback Group. I'm from Scottsdale, Arizona, and I own a real estate team. Okay, I have not done any of the numbers that these people have done, but we're well on our way. Now, along with Forbes stating the change will produce more transactions. Okay, hear what he's saying here, or hear what this article is talking about. More transactions, and those who embrace it will win, right? Now, you got to really think about what that is talking about, right? The change, okay, technology is going to actually increase the number of transactions, and the people that are on the forefront of that technology and their mindset will ultimately win the game, okay? Again, there's a bunch of articles talking about this, and I would suggest that you go do your own research as well. So let's just kind of go through a couple of my thoughts, my opinions, and my feelings here. Now, I personally think that the solo agent will slowly dissolve / decrease. Okay, I don't think that the solo agent is going to be here in its current form for an extremely long time. I think within the next 3 to 10 years, you're going to see that where it starts to dissolve, or that number starts to massively decrease. I think it's going to be a slow and steady process, right? I don't think it's something that'll happen tomorrow or the next day or the next day. I just think, in my opinion, 100% my own opinion, that it will be a slow and steady process. And I'm going to explain why here in just a moment, okay? So make sure that you're watching and you're paying attention. The solo agent just can't afford to market at a high level, right? You gotta understand, the solo agent's making, what are they making? 40,000, 50,000, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, okay? Probably not a lot more, but maybe, okay, depending on where you're located, maybe 150, 200, again, I don't know. But if you're making those bigger numbers, again, let's just assume that the cost of living also is higher, so it probably equals itself out. Can the solo agent pay for all of their expenses, pay for their family, pay for the Audi and the BMW, and afford to spend $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month on marketing, okay? Or more, right? And I just don't think that's very reasonable to assume. Now, again, the big power teams are going to be able to compete. Why is that? Because they have a ton of marketing dollars to spend, right? They can dump money into marketing, into tech, right? Into systems, into processes, into people. They can literally dump tons and tons and tons of money into all of these different things, and the big power teams are going to be able to compete and then to give literally leads or referrals or business systems, process, all sorts of different things to that agent that's on their team. They're going to be able to provide everything, right? Like we just talked about, okay? Everything that you can imagine, from the CRM to the systems to the processes to the leads to the referrals to the office space, right? To literally, the environment, okay? Everything you could possibly imagine, the big power teams are going to be able to pay for it, and those solo agents that once were not a part of a team are, in my opinion, going to join a team. And ultimately, that is where they're going to succeed, okay? Again, we just talked about it, right? Leads, B2B referral partners, okay? And referrals in general are going to be a big benefit to the power teams, right? Again, I think you're going to see the solo agents join the teams get big, the little bitty teams, who really knows, right? I think they're going to fall off eventually, in my opinion, or they're never really going to succeed at a very high level, and you're not going to see a ton of solo agents, okay? There is no set commission, right? And we're already starting to see that everything's negotiable, right? And understanding that where I'm located, and I don't know where you're located, but where I'm located, I'm already starting to see that buyer broker commission, right? The downward trend of that buyer broker percentage is already starting to decrease in my personal area, right? Now again, everything's negotiable and everything, it's not really like there's not a set standard, but however, the one thing that I've seen over the years is the buyer broker has always been right around that 3% number in my particular area. Now, you're starting to see in my area it's at 2.5. Sometimes I'm even seeing a 2% buyer broker commission. Again, people are already not wanting to pay the buyer broker because they're not seeing the same value that they saw 5 or 10 years ago, right? Those are my thoughts on that. The future of real estate transactions, let's just get into it, right? The nitty gritty, the nuts and the bolts. Hey, by the way, guys, if you like the video and subscribe I'm gonna make a ton more videos on stuff just like this, and I'm very excited. So just take a quick moment, smash that freaking like button, smash that subscribe button, and I hope you guys are getting a ton of value from it. What is the future? Okay, the future of real estate transactions. Okay, now I've been doing my research. Okay, you should go do your own research, right? I'm gonna give you my opinions and what I genuinely think is going to happen here. A lot of people are talking about how, there's going to be more and more online transactions going through one platform type dashboard. Now, I could see that happening, right? There's tons of different dashboards online. There probably eventually is going to be dashboards where you can negotiate, do your paperwork. You can do everything online. There's pros and cons to this. Okay, so again, this is my opinion. Having online transactions are going to give a lot of support, a lot of help, and provide guidance throughout to the customer. Okay, ultimately by giving that consumer, the customer, the client, the ultimate experience, right, that they're looking for. Okay, via some form of technology online platform. Okay, the real estate agent role would then simply transition to being a navigator, right? Not taking the full reins, but helping maybe legal advice or navigating, negotiating some certain things that maybe technology would not be able to do, or at least not yet. That is essentially kind of what my thought is here. Now, different payment transactions, I think there's going to be a lot of different stuff that you see that starts to happen when you take more of the online approach with real estate transactions. Okay, let's just kind of go right through it, right? What are my thoughts? I think this is very possible. I think that technology is moving very quickly, and I think it's very possible. The real estate world has always been 5 or 10 years behind, in my opinion, every other industry, right? The real estate industry has always lagged the majority of the other industries, again, in my opinion. It's hard to create an emotional transaction via technology, though. That is my opinion. I just want to jump right to what I think. Normally, for the average American, right, for the average person out there, like myself and you, whoever watching, right, the average person is going to buy a house, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, and that is one of the biggest transactions, right? One of the biggest purchases that person is ever going to make. Okay, and when you understand that, you understand a little bit about human beings, right? Understand that human beings, there's a level of buyer psychology that has to go in to making a purchase like that. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that, people buy on emotion, right? People don't always buy on fact. They don't always buy on data. People are not the average person, and the reason that ads work so well, and the reason that people are able to, sell things, right, is because people buy off of emotion, right? So, if you're just online navigating through some dashboard, are you truly able to create an emotional experience? With another human being, walk around the property, physically see the property, have somebody else explain the property to you. Now, a good agent is going to do all these things. I'm not saying that every agent will, but a good agent will do all of these things. Okay, having online support to guide you throughout is extremely, it's like definitely a pro, right? You're going to have a ton of support. Now, again, a good agent is going to be able to provide a very similar type of support. Okay, great alternative for some, but not for all. Okay, that is truly my opinion. My opinion is this. Okay, my opinion is that over the next 5 or 10 years, the solo agent is going to eventually join the team. The big teams are going to rise up and start to compete more and more with the big tech companies, the online dashboards, all of this stuff, right? Now, however, I think, in my opinion, that some people are going to go to the open door. They're going to go to the offer pad, right? They're going to go do those things, but I don't think it's for everybody. All right, plain and simple, I do not think that those companies, those tech companies, are ever going to take a massive percentage of the market share. I just don't think they will. Again, in my opinion, I think they're going to take some, 100% without a shadow of a doubt. You're already seeing that. I just don't ever think they're going to take 100%, okay? People want the comfort of the human interaction. People love the human interaction, right? Since day one of any industry that we're looking at, people love that human interaction, the one-on-one interaction. For most people, a home is going to be their largest purchase, right? We've already talked about this. Clients have to like, trust, and respect you. Technology, unfortunately, may or may not be able to ever offer that. I don't know, and I don't know that anybody does, but I think we have a ways to go if technology was ever able to create an interaction right, where it affected people's emotions. Again, guys, just kind of going right through this really quick. You know, in today's world, people are expecting more and more while having to do less and less, right? So as a real estate agent, we've got to compete, right? As the real estate teams, we've got to compete. We've got to stay out in front of this technology, right? If we want to compete, you know, start to implement the 3D viewing of homes, right? The virtual reality of somebody being able to sit in front of their computer, okay, as a real estate team, as somebody that knows, hey, we've got to be in front of this, right? You know, what are we going to create? What are we going to do to get on the forefront of the technology, right? Preloaded inspections and repair costs are typically, are eventually going to be all built into one online dashboard. Guys, how can, as a team, if you're watching this, if you're a solo agent, join a team. In my opinion, over the next 5 or 10 years, if you own a team or you're a part of a team, make sure that you're on a team that is at the forefront of this technology. Tips to winning, we've already started talking about it. Find a brokerage that continues to evolve with the future. If you're on a brokerage right now and they're old school and they're not doing anything and they're completely outdated and everything they do is old, I would get out of that brokerage immediately and join a team or a brokerage that again, you know, that's staying at the forefront of this technology and understands that technology, you know, is changing very rapidly. Okay, again, outwork everybody. That has always been my thing. Work hard, right? If you work hard, you will achieve results. Okay, period. End of conversation. 100% of the time. And again, guys, staying ahead of the hockey puck. You know, a lot of people go where the hockey puck is at, and I want to go where the hockey puck is going. Okay, now that is just my opinion. I always want to do that 100% of the time. Guys, these are kind of my thoughts, right, on where the real estate agent's going, you know, where we can kind of look to be in the next 5 or 10 years. You know, I think everybody's going to have some of their own thoughts, but these are mine. I hope you guys got a ton of value out of this video. Again, once and for all, make sure you like the video. If you have not already, smash that subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Drop in the comment section down below what you guys would like to see, and I'll see you then.